Hello, I'm Steve Monkey Mason and welcome back to the Turtles Marathon. This is the one back to back. I have special guest Paul Ray, the movie pop guy.
Alright.
And Mr. Carl, Lubo himself, the pirate. Alright. So we've just done Turtles 1, we're going to do Turtles 2, this is The Secret of the Ooze. We're all locked on the screen in memory of Jim Henson. So did he die before this was completed or while it was getting done?
I think it was before. Yeah. Before release, I think, yeah.
So we're going to press play. I'm going to count down from 3 and we're going to go on 1. Alright, Paul?
Come at the front here, everybody. Yay!
Yay. Right, so 3, 2, 1 and play. In memory of Jim Henson and still on and faded out.
And
Skyline of New York.
Yeah. The table's 2 towers out.
Way, Paul. Okay. Well, they've gone for orange there. Obviously, it was green in the first movie, but we've been hit with a tint of orange for font. Again, this was very fast-tracked after the original. The original was a massive runaway success, and this came along and... Oh, we've got different colours.
Yep. Pizza, of course. This might be... Yeah, even though you see it's fast-tracked, I still say like this is massively more... It looks more modern than the other one. There was like a grainy New York about it, where this feels like it's quite modern and more brighter. Yeah.
I wish we had a pizzeria.
Everyone likes pizza.
Well, like the thing is, you go anywhere, like traveling and stuff like that, you can pick up a slice of pizza. It's not common here. It's just a pizza. You've got to get a whole pizza. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's one in the New Market. Apparently, they do like America pizza, where they literally buy the slices.
I would love to have so much cheese like that on a fucking pizza. If you get a Domino's pizza, you're lucky to get fucking cheese on it.
Someone, I swear to God, no word of a lie, someone actually ordered a pizza and they just got the dough and the tomato puree from Domino's literally like less than a month ago.
Now this guy here...
You're going to acknowledge that this is not his first time in the Turtles film? Nope.
Is he Leonardo in the original?
I was going to say Donatello, to be honest with you, but I might be wrong on that one.
But he was in this, and he was in Three Ninjas, then just disappeared again, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he was really a major actor. I think, to be honest, but he pretty much got squeezed into this because of the lack of Casey Jones.
See, Casey, again, that actor had really started to motor and that, because obviously he's the guy who played Casey Jones is the guy who sings "Time's on My Side" and "Fallen." He's he's been in quite a lot of movies. I mean, I went to the pictures to see this, and I was just hyper for days, Saturday afternoon going into this.
Well, I mean, it didn't really take time, did it? I mean, we know what's going to come here, and it's literally 2 minutes into the film, and we're going to get a good choreographic fight. So it's just so fast paced. At the time. Apparently he had to slow it down when he was doing the fight scenes because he was that fast. Yeah, who did I say did that the other day?
Snipes.
In one of ours.
Snipes. Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, that's right,
I love it how they're robbing the store.
And there's also someone else who didn't return, which is obviously Abel O'Neill.
And Feldman, aye.
And Feldman. So Feldman's sober. This entrance is rubbish. It fits into the cartoon, I think. I think we're going to see this all the way through the film. It's so animated and it's so kind of light-hearted. You can tell that there was obviously issues with people with the violence of it and the
darkness of it. I mean,
dark tones.
Look how light it is, though. Look how much the font covers the right there when Raphael was on there, and the Kevin Eastman thing. The font was massive, but it was off as well. It was off in the corner. But even there, when he bags him up there and chucks him in the bin, the font flips out with him as well. Obviously done in quite a you know what I mean, cartoon kind of style.
Yeah, I'm going to the toy shop. And we've got toys.
Toys for fun.
Toys. Just you see them running down the stairs of Turtles, yeah? So you know they're there, and then they do the jump. When I just did a jump, then they're right there, if you know what I mean? So Yeah.
But then again, the score on this, it's just the same songs. It's just the same kind of score as the first one, but you don't really hear that often because it's all really pop songs, isn't it?
Yeah, well, Vanilla Ice as well coming into it.
Is the main one. Yeah. So one I remember.
I mean, obviously they're like Yo-Yo.
Yo-Yo. Yep.
Around the world. Again, look at the font. Look at that font, like getting twisted off and that.
Yeah.
We got this bit.
Are these costumes new costumes, or do you think just use the first ones?
These look like the first ones.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, you know, it is. I'm feeling like they don't look as bad as I remember them. Like, I know the third one definitely did, but these ones, they do look a little different, but I'm guessing that they're being allowed to use them, because they look pretty much the same.
Yeah. They just look a little
Maybe
bit
come in a contract.
I mean, instead of nunchucks, we'll get fucking sausages.
Oh, you're ahead of me, mate. I'm still Donatello chasing them down.
No, Michelangelo's just pulled him over the pizza counter.
Yeah, you're definitely ahead of me.
Michelangelo just fallen over now.
Yeah.
No, I'm ahead, so you guys, come on. You've had one job.
What it is, what I think
I'm not being funny, like, but there's three of us, Mason. Two of us is in one place, and the other one not. I'm starting to feel like it might be your issue here.
Well, I think what it is, it's a frame rate also.
Do you know what it is? Like, to everyone at home, right? I'll mute them now, right, and tell you. The thing is, I actually own the Blu-ray. I actually have the Blu-ray in my collection, unlike the pirate. You know, so basically you've got Paul Ray, Blackbeard, Ghost flying along there, and Captain Carl Sparrow on the other pirate ship. And they're all complaining about me being out of time.
You hold it good, like, didn't you, with that pirate thing? I mean, I've only ever done it, like, a couple of times in my life.
Fucking right, man. You've set up the torrent site. I would say, no, going back to the Turtles costumes, I would say they've been rehashed. Maybe it's reskinned, because Raphael looks completely slimmer and more colourful. Definitely more spots added. Donatello looks a bit more cartoony. Michelangelo looks the same.
I wonder if like maybe these were like, because you imagine they wouldn't have gotten it right bang on first time. So I wonder if this is like the being told, right, you can still use them, but these are like old models that they probably didn't go with. Because the shells are definitely different than what they were in the first one.
I mean, obviously they would have had more budget, but obviously they would have had to make Togar and Razor for this as well.
Yeah, that would have been quite a job on, especially Togar.
The ginormous daisies also, on the sunflowers. Don't forget about them.
Now, this April O'Neil is far fitter.
Yeah, you can tell they've gone for more of a face. Whereas I feel like with the first one, they weren't looking for that, so that's why we're called.
All credit to the first woman who played April. She gave a strong performance. There's nothing cartoony about it, but is she in the third one as well?
Yes.
Yeah, she is.
Right. Yeah.
Well, funny enough, just while we had a break there, I couldn't remember why we didn't get Judith Haig again, and I've just found a little snippet. Now I don't know entirely how true this is, especially with the way that this film's toned. But she claimed that she would never ask to come back for the sequel, and she assumed it's because she complained to the producers a lot. I think she had a lot of issue with the 6-day shoots, and apparently she was also one of the ones who jumped on the bandwagon and said she didn't get all the violence. Although it does quote her here saying, what was it? Everyone was beating everyone up. I thought the movie suffered because of it. And let's be honest, going back to what was said before, it's an indie film that made over $100 million. I don't think the movie suffered. But I felt like they showed the cars too soon, in my opinion.
Well, again, as well, you star in the biggest independent movie when you know what I mean. It's a blockbuster hit, and you come back and you all of a sudden you don't want to work 6 days a week. Do you know what I mean? Independent. Yeah. When you work an independent movie, like, you're all in. I mean, I've just recently watched a film, and I would recommend it to you both, called Red Hill. I would love to do a podcast for that with you guys, because the film is fucking brilliant. 700 grand, filmed in Australia, and it's sort of like a First Blood die-hard kind of Western vibe, you know, in the modern times. And like every single person on that, when you see in the documentary, are wanting to make the best film possible. And it's a one-off movie. Now, if you go in that and you do like she did there, and you see how much the movie made, next thing you know, she wants more money. And like, they'll just go, no, you are not a priority of the film. The priority in this movie is the turtles.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Feldman could be recast in that. It's not the voices, do you know what I mean? It's...
Yeah. I believe that Jesus Hicks in the first one is probably slightly better April O'Neil, if I have to envision a real life April O'Neil.
Yeah.
I believe that this one's way hotter, but in the terms of like in character and what she does in the film, this one's not bad at all. I think she does great, but I would say if I had to choose what I felt was a more April character, I would go with the first one.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, she definitely bring in a good performance.
Well, at least they used the side for something. Hey,
Dead messy.
catching pizza.
I mean, is this apartment? Is like this is her new apartment? I did remember what I mean. I'm going to say the bandanas have got so much more colour in them.
I was going to say, are they not longer as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're a lot longer than the first one.
I was about to say that they're more colourful.
Yeah.
Even Splinter's had a little comb. He's had a comb. Yeah, like, I mean, I remember as a kid just being like, oh my god, I can't wait to see this movie, like, and like, proper, you know, it's sort of like you go in and then it's over, you know what I mean? And it's like, fucking hell. Then years later, you look at back and go, like, I'm glad I've seen this at the movies, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's videotape. I've seen this.
I think it was rental for me.
Yeah, rental.
That was the thing. I think because we had so much access to the rental shop when my mum worked there, we were never really allowed to do much cinema. Like the only time we went to cinema was when it really like had to count.
Just
Cinema.
going back to there, Donatello looks really, really slim there in the end. He looks totally different.
You can see where they look out the peepers underneath the bandanas now, more than anything else. I think just because it's more bright.
Yeah.
Was it just me, or just because I'm noticing it?
Oh, we know it's...
I mean, it's not something I noticed, but when you brought it up, I can see what you mean. Totally.
I mean, it does just look like a shadow on it, but it does like...
Yeah.
It's just kind of... I mean, it must have been hard. There's a lot more... Again, going back to what you said in the last podcast, like Donatello comes a bit more goofy in this. Raph and Leonardo have a bit more there. I bet that isn't easy to do, a fucking backflip in that. Because your back's sort of restrained, isn't it?
Well, yes, it is. No, I'm not built for backflips.
I remember like when I went to the swimming pool as a kid and everyone was like, you know what I mean? That's one of the ways you find out if you can do a backflip or not, you know what I mean? And I just remember watching this kid going, yeah, I'll do it. Now, you guys, Carl, did you ever go to concert swimming baths, the old one?
I've been once or twice, but I was all standing there like...
Fuck, I remember this kid, like, I never knew his name and all that. You just see him when you go swimming, and he jumped and did a backflip and he smacked his fucking head off the fucking side as he was going under. And I just remember seeing him at the bottom of the pool crying with blood coming out of his head. I was like, wow. Like, honestly, I've never got that out of my head, that, but like, after that, I never tried a backflip, just terrified of it.
Yeah.
And there you go.
Definitely looks different.
And here comes the hand. I mean, that's a new music cue there. The Shredder hand coming up.
Yeah.
That appeared on some awesome artwork recently as well. That was popping up on...
Was that infantry where the turtles were all like facing off? Like towards the picture, and you had the hand in the middle?
Yeah.
I saw a couple of variations of that. I thought, I mean, this film needs a steelbook. And I just thought, when I looked at that, I thought that would work. I don't know why they haven't done a steelbook for this one yet.
Why does the hand remind me of Evil Dead?
Well, I've just got a Tatsu. He's coming in there, smashing the place up. Aye, Tatsu.
You notice that all the first orchard are now like mostly like the more passable as men. There's not many
I mean, fuck me.
Who is that?
I challenge you. So one of them in the background look like Ryan Reynolds. There, the what? Like if you can see that his face when he says that, his face. The guy behind him looks like Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, I know who you're on about that.
This bit's only been set like 2 days after. First one.
I know, that's why I never read any of that like as a kid.
You looked at quick, didn't you?
I mean, again though, that's like again it carries straight on, and it's like as a kid it was just like, oh my god, the next one.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to say one year.
Right, I've got a really funny story coming up here now. David Warner's about to appear, obviously known for Star Trek. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So a couple of years ago, when I filmed the HorrorCon, I'm in a video clip with this guy, right? And I'm like, where do I know him from? And like, I sort of like, you got name checked and all that, and like, I think I was talking to Killian. And I was like, I fucking know him from somewhere, And he's like, oh yeah, he's in Star Trek. It's not fucking Star Trek. So like, I was sitting editing the footage, and here's David Warner, and he's looking all nice and that. And I went, fuck me, it's the Ooze guy from Turtles 2, and I was so starstruck. Like weeks later, when I finally worked out what he was in, he was the fucking scientist from the Turtles.
Speaking of HorrorCon, we should be in Pat my bag now.
Well, that's it. I was talking yesterday. I mean, there's no way, shape, or form any fucking events, no matter what ME events are saying they're going to do later on this year. I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm more than happy. I was talking to Killian about this. I'm more than happy to my HorrorCon tickets to be passed over to the next year, and that's fine by me. But like, even going there, you can't have an international gathering. You know what I mean? Like, and have it's such a like small places like them halls and stuff. It's not going to happen.
Well, it's the worst design in the world for what we're going to. You couldn't pick a worse idea in terms of what we're doing. I mean, look at when we were going around the stores and that, when you were shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
We could not move.
Boot sales aren't going to happen, and that isn't going to happen. Like, but again, Monopoly events. I was talking to Killian about this, like the fact that they did that whole thing with Millie Bobby Brown when because Godzilla vs King Kong was meant to come out. Well, that's probably going to be next year now, but obviously when they delayed the movie, Millie Bobby Brown would have been in the UK on the PR show, so they nabbed her for one day only. £123 a signature, sold out. I mean, you know how big them queues can get, and you think that they've got all that money, and like she's probably not going to be able to attend that show.
Yeah. Oh, totally. I mean, like I say, the money lost is just tremendous. But then at the same time, when you look at it, I mean, I don't know how you feel about it, but it was a couple of weeks ago now, but on the HorrorCon Facebook page, and someone had mentioned that they literally just put a message saying, oh yeah, by the way, I don't think this event's going to happen. And like literally, like there's quite a few of them all like kind of jumped on his back saying, stop being so negative, it might still happen, I'm still going to go, I want to go. And it was just like, whoa, just chill out, you just not understand what's going on.
Oh, I mean, I
think a massive amount of people would still go, oh, let's do a gathering. And anyway, I said at the end of the day, there was no way in this world any celebrity was getting on a plane to go to any country, never mind this one.
Well, first off, event insurances will be through the fucking roof for a start. But like, at the end of the day, like it's kind of like, I feel sorry for all the, I know we're not talking about the Turtles here, but it started because of David Warner's back on the telly. I feel sorry for all the traders and stuff, like all the genuine artists and all the people reaching out there who like meeting people and, make a bit of money because they make stuff specialised for their events. But then it just changes. I've just noticed some Shredder is now in purple.
Oh, I'm still on David Warner.
Well, catch up. Shredder has got a massive daffodil and he's in purple. I mean, that screams comic book.
Oh, right, okay. Shredder's now walked on the screen.
Is it me?
Right, purple.
I believe the turtles, yeah, but the flowers, I don't look so fake. I don't know why.
I think this is where it starts to feel like it could be a cartoon episode. I feel like with them wearing like bright orange happens to construction work and stuff like that.
Is it ever going to be like? Do you think it would ever acknowledge that the turtles are going to be sexually frustrated, that they're never going to have sex?
What do you mean? They're never going to have sex?
Well,
Are you ruling that out?
because
That's
there
a bit
is.
harsh.
Well, in this reality, there isn't a female turtle. I mean, again, what happens when they bring her in? I mean, like Donatello was dreaming about kissing a mop there. I mean, that's an underlying trauma just willing to happen.
That's what they got able for.
I know, but like, the point where she's going to hit the hormones and she's just going to get gang raped. I mean,
Now there's Turtle 4 for you.
Turtle foursome.
oh, poor.
Yeah, I suppose so. But then, like I say, they're teenagers, so there must be all that's on the brain.
Now, I think this
But then
is.
again, maybe there's not, because they've been trained from such a young age to be disciplined ninjas. So maybe they're like monks. We don't even think about it.
Or a Buddhist monk. Oh, Paul Ray's downloading something in the background.
Either something related to Buddhist monks or gang rape.
Oh my god.
Well, I'm sorry, but like, if you suddenly start typing, that's the conversation.
I was just looking at the New York skyline, actually.
Ah, nice little matte painting that.
It's, yeah, I can see that's a.
Backdrop in it.
You can see it's a backdrop, but at the same time, you can still appreciate it.
Dig a gremlins.
The Splinter sitting on a beanbag.
Well, Splinter,
Like a big bag.
I mean, for the shot, Splinter's sitting on, like, obviously where they can obviously stick rods and puppets up his bum and shot in it, so.
Yep.
You've got that call, haven't you? The canister.
I do indeed. Battery powered, come with Ooze.
I think the.
I mean, that's what I would have. I mean, that's what I would have appreciated more. See, I like what it is, but I feel like with NECA, they're obviously very well known for the detail. And the
Does
fact
your
that you can clearly see,
alright?
it's from the second one.
It gets me confused because of different name, different things. It's just me.
TGF, right?
I'm sure that's like a new Splinter puppet. It looks clean.
Mine TCRI. So it's from the first film.
Right. I don't know why it
This one
changed it.
changed it to J.
Why?
No idea. Might have been because it was a different company. Not the film, but like as in the film. It might have been like different people working with it.
And look at them computer graphics, that. The last one. Now, the thing what's in, it almost looks like a brain. I'm not saying it is Krang, but obviously the canister, like the glass cabinet above where he's putting the mutagen down, did look like a bit of a brain. Yeah.
They're definitely playing on it. I don't really want you to know, but
I mean,
I would have liked mine to be lime green like this. It looks great, but I feel like if you're going to go all out to that, you might as well have done something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it does. It's just when you see it there for a moment, it does look like a brain in a cylinder, even though it is like, so it looks like fusions of gold bricks or whatever it is. But
Yeah.
again, going back to like that era, like this is a computer and just big light up boards and stuff.
Yeah. Now I try to get in sync with you. Before. Where are you now? What's happening on your screen?
Donatello is typing buttons for the first time on the screen. Disposed.
I'm still on the rooftop.
What are you doing in the
No,
rooftop?
they're just starting to come down the steps into the lab.
Michelangelo's just walked over with 2 canisters. Active.
Is it different? Or it's film? Is it the frame rate or something?
It is, to be honest with you, I feel like something changes. I have agreed with one of these before. In the first one, where I
Keep
was
breaking up,
thinking
Carl.
you, but then we weren't.
Yeah.
Can you hear me better?
Yeah.
Yeah, much better, man.
I had to stand up before to see my canister, so I had to move my phone. So
Sorry, man.
the land of concert. No, it's alright, just because I'm right between concert and Stanley, and the reception never been great here. I feel like it's getting 50% of Stanley and 50% of concert.
That's never a good thing.
No.
He's got the canister. And I mean, again, the seriousness of what the first one had is definitely gone.
Absolutely.
So we get a bit of passing the parcel here, isn't it?
I was going to say, the chubby guy's got it now on my screen.
No, Donatello's just whacked him with a stick and kicked him up the butt. Howdy guys, catch up, man.
Honestly, well, it's just... Oh, I'm doing... hold on.
What's happening now in yours, Mason?
Well, Michelangelo is trying to get away from 2 foot soldiers. Raphael's saying photo to him.
Yeah, and then...
I'm surfing on a chair.
God, surfing on the chair. What? Surfing on the chair hasn't happened yet. Donatello's just kicked it up. It's flying through the air. Foot soldiers grabbed it.
Right, okay. Right, I'm going to go just a smidge back.
And now they're all in tattoos are now. They're all in the full square. And
doing the whole American football thing, aren't they?
Yeah.
Backflip. Tatsu.
Yep.
Leonardo. How big's that foot soldier? That, you know what? Do you know what? That might be. That could be Kevin Nash, you know.
He's too chubby for that, man.
Surfs up.
Yep.
Just before we all got confused about what the fuck was going on, there's a bit where Donatello runs, gets his stick, jumps back, kicks somebody, turns around, kicks another one, then keeps on going. It's a really nice stunt, especially like with a kick.
Right, Tattoo's throwing the smoke in it yet?
Oh, it's definitely smoky.
Right.
Michelangelo. Bummer. Shredder's just got the canister.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got you now.
It's weird. It must be like... Because obviously, like...
I think I got mixed up before, because I think when I mentioned the foot soldier, I think I'm getting them mixed up on it, so I just skipped too far ahead, thinking I was too far behind.
I love the new layer when they find it in this. I think that's class. Dun, 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 dun. One of my next files I've got to transfer my computers called Retro Videos Critters. It's from May 2018.
Christ. Should go all Inception and just do a video of you doing a video of an old video.
I think
This bit here when Infinity comes in, just like this, like with from the first one, where he's looking around for it too.
Oh yeah, when Danny's looking around.
That's it, yeah. It's
Well,
kind of the
yeah,
same kind of thing, isn't it?
The play MC now, yeah.
But he knows something's up, and obviously Danny didn't realise. But it's kind of the same kind of thing. Massive.
I bet she had some accidents doing that in the fucking takes.
Just say that. Oh, there's a tool.
I love it how he's already seen them and he's all like, his eyes are nearly popping out his fucking head.
He's like really animated, isn't he? I think that's the whole problem with his character all the way through. Like,
the right model.
To me, I don't know, like, 'cause I know you're not as big on Star Wars, Mason, but Paul, you think he's like the Jar Jar Binks of this film?
Miss, I go, oh no! Miss.
He just seemed to be like, every line he does is way over the top. He's trying to stand out, I think. That's
But like, isn't it? Do you need a new character? Mason said before, there's so many characters it could have. Why do you need a new one for?
True. Well, like I said, I think he's purely replaced because of Casey Jones. I think if Casey Jones was still in us, you would never have seen him.
Well, that's it. I mean, bringing Talk on Razor, it's almost like Shredder's Revenge. The Return of the Shredder was an episode. You had stuff like, I mean, some of the baddies in the first one. I mean, Baxter is really good for the rat traps, but there was no way they're going to be able to make animatronic rat traps at that time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's not that far
Oh, no,
advanced.
definitely being practical. Definitely.
What were those robots called? Mouse or something?
Mouse trappers or
Rat trappers. Rat trappers?
rat trappers.
So, trying to remember.
Which
I
is
mean-
funny because he was catching mice. Well, he wasn't catching rats, but it was.
But again, dropping back to Stockman, it's too close to obviously the Fly movie being made as well.
Yeah.
At the time, I mean, there was the Rat King, obviously Krang, but obviously, how do you like this? This isn't set for other dimensions.
That's it exactly. That's why I didn't really agree with when Eastman said he didn't want to use Shredder in this because he wanted to be because there was so many more villains in the universe. But when you look at it from a film point of view, none of them would have really fit in this because they're still trying to be like real life. I mean, we can stretch the imagination a little bit, but they're still very much trying to treat it like a real world. So
I mean, obviously, here it goes to be like this could have been Bebop and Rocksteady, but the decision why they went this way, I mean, it is something new, and again, that's what you want with the movies. But Bebop and Rocksteady was
So
such a
disappointed.
yeah. I mean, I think again, going back to the cartoon, I was lucky enough as a kid to get the Slash original Black Bandana Gremlin from Another Dimension, and like he's almost like a spin-off Torkar, the snapping turtle.
yeah,
I love it how scientific's that though. Just put a pipe through and just blast them with it. No injections or anything needed.
nah. Do you think it was a bad? Well, I think it is, but I'm curious to see what you think. If it was a bad move to make them kind of like pretty much juvenile.
Well, that's it. I mean, I mean, it's there that they haven't had time to mature and all that.
But I think we're past that when you're talking about a Turtles film. It's not like you could totally get away with it by having them like talk ordinary. Like, I don't even mean like have them being intelligent and like knowing stuff, but like literally having normal talking voice rather than talking like a baby.
I mean, again, I think with them as well, the designs they probably went with it's going to be too terrifying for kids.
Yeah, try and keep it more lighthearted.
But like Henson, the puppet stoner, you like should be on a show, don't they?
Yeah, true.
I mean, I think with Torkar, you can see it in the Henson designs going back to the labyrinth. That very, you know what I mean, almost like bird-like look, like that Torkar's got going on.
Yeah. I don't know if it was because of the nature of the Henson film, but I mean, some of them were pretty creepy looking, like, and I mean, he's only really done children or like kind of childlike stuff. If you look at the labyrinth, those little goblins when they were creeping around the room, that terrified me, the kid.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I mean, the labyrinth's just fucked up. I mean, I'm surprised fucking Splinter's face isn't hidden all the way through this movie in different corridors and shit.
At least there's no.
True.
No. See, we don't have this over here. All these ideas. We talked about this in the Ghostbusters, didn't we, Paul? The underground tunnels and it all being abandoned and just discovery and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, again, they could have borrowed from Ghostbusters 2 from this.
Before.
Power. Imagine just finding that, man. I mean, real estate on that, 100 grand.
Easy.
Do you think Ninja Turtles are the same universe as Ghostbusters?
They've done a lot of comics together.
No, again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it
Chill
could.
figures.
I mean, it could have
Some
worked.
figures,
Yeah.
I think yeah.
Again, going back to the movie, they've lost Raph again, and he's goth.
It's kind of it's got the same like
Structure.
kind of stepping stones. Yeah, that's a better word for you.
Shredder in purple, man.
How are you ahead again?
I'm gonna say I'm just getting Shredder and Purple now.
How ahead?
What do you mean? How am I ahead?
We're up to the same bit 2 seconds again, and now.
Hang on, I'm just going to put my head close to the telly. No, he's definitely speaking in normal. This not be the first time I've been watching a few like foreign films and think, wow, why they sped that up for? And I go, oh yeah, because when you put the PlayStation controller down, it hits it at 1.5 and it's dead fast.
Yeah. I think what I did depends because you got your NTC, your frame rate different. You might be in sync for 2 seconds, but it could go back or forward depending on the frame rate.
Just as quick.
Yeah. No one notices it because he's just so used to it. But just say frame rate.
I could say how often you watch the same film with someone else in a different room, you just don't pick it up, do you?
That's it. It's like if you look like American, like 142 minutes approximately, and then it's like 141 minute approximately. I'm sure it's that PAL and NTC refresh rate.
Yeah.
I used to have a nightmare when I was editing early days. Because when I would be like making a video and all that, and it would have it all in time and all that, and then all of a sudden when you would master it, it wouldn't be, and it because my early computer used to have a habit of flinging it between PAL and NTS, and I was like, well, why does it do that? It was probably just a glitch, but it adds frames in, like it'll pause on a frame and it's just like try to make up the microseconds up.
Yep. You and me, say you had the same copy, you'd be perfectly, but because the company's taken over, maybe transferred differently. If you're basically watching a Blu-ray, and obviously it's been digitized and remastered, obviously you'd have one up done more work on it. If you're watching a DVD, it would just be the original DVD one. I mean, so it's weird. I think that's all it is. Not doing anything wrong. It's just that it's weird. I think it's just the way it is. I mean, I'll look at it later on, like when I've got nothing else to do with my life. That's the only thing happening at the moment.
I love it how they've like obviously carrying the phone line. I mean, can you imagine being an electric company or a phone company going, right, who's phoning people and why is there a massive power surge? You would go and investigate it, wouldn't you?
Well, I mean, given that, yeah, someone should have found out by now.
Right, well, I mean, to be honest with you, they've proper fast-tracked these. Is it the same actor for Shredder?
No.
You could just tell in his...
Anyway.
I think you could tell in his eyes there, like... Not really a big reveal.
Mama?
I just don't like the jawline of the beast.
I know, if it would work in a cartoon, no problem at all, but it just looks like a mask. I think that's why I like the first tale so much, is I know they're obviously guys in suits, but it works so well, whereas these are just clearly two people in suits.
Yeah, it's so... Yeah.
But at least, I mean, again, they've went different. They've done a different approach. I mean, unlike, say for example, Battle Masters of the Universe, when you've got like the bad guys and like one of them's Beastman, and then obviously there's like Blade and like a weird one with fucking white hair, but like they introduce new characters who no one knows.
Yeah. Pig Boy. Yeah, like I said, it's a totally different tone, this film now. Like it's into kind of like fantasy. You know what I mean? It's off its own.
Again, though, like
go to. There's as a kid.
I've got fond memories of seeing this at the pictures, but like the threat of them is gone. I mean, the reveal, you know what I mean? There's no like big hype about it, but then the threat of them's gone.
Yeah.
But obviously, we do get the curveball of the Super Shredder at the end.
But I didn't think so as a kid because I was just amazed that I got a Super Shredder on screen and stuff like that. But something that I was obviously when I was reading about this before today, I'd noticed as well that like someone had pointed out that they don't in fact actually fight Shredder. You know, you essentially turn into Super Shredder, and then that's it. You know, there's no actual like fight, and I think that's probably a lot to do with the fact that it's too animated, isn't it? I mean, the guy was supposed to have grown 7, 8 foot tall. Yeah, and there's no way you would have been able to get the turtle in the suits to do anything with them. But at the same time, it's like surely that should have been brought up in the board meetings and stuff like that. It's like, okay, it would be really cool to have Shredder, but then at the same time, that would make sense not to use them and not to do what we want to do with them. So really, I would have preferred to have like the Tokar and Razor be a little bit more formidable and have that fight be a little bit more in depth.
I love here though, like Raphael's just out in the broad daylight, not even wearing his trench suit here. He's just out.
Doesn't give a shit now, does he?
Yeah.
It's New York, what'd you expect?
Well, because everything happens in New York, so it's fine.
I've actually never been in New York.
Nah. It's one of the places I definitely want to go. Like, I nearly went a couple of years ago. See, this is just showcasing, like, that they're all martial artists, isn't it, really?
But, I only seen... Is he in Surf Ninjas and that's it, isn't it?
Yeah. So, a little bit of information. Well, this is it. I was playing on my mind about the TGRI and TCRI, but I've just found something here. I don't know if you've noticed, but apparently the Professor Perry character was always originally meant to be an alien in the film. Hence what you mentioned earlier on before, Mason, when you turned around and said, oh, that very much looks like a take on Krang. So apparently that whole scene was supposed to be very, a bit more, you know, a little bit more scientific and a bit more alien. Makes a lot more sense.
I mean, if they introduced it early on in this movie, they could have done a third one with Krang, but again, it would have been a proper pendulum shift halfway through it. But, you know,
it looked like a really bad puppet.
But look how bad the other one happened with, you know, Shredder. I mean, fuck me, like, Shredder's in the new one, isn't he? But he's not really, like, on the sequel. He's there, but then he just gets sort of frozen, chucked away. I mean, and obviously the freeze frame where you can see, like, is it the Toad or the Tyrannosaurus people and stuff they've got there? So they were trying to open up this universe. So give them credit for trying to do that. But...
Well, this is it. They were trying to claw back because I think the first one, I mean, I don't know if it made enough money for it, but I noticed it was very notoriously known as a bit of a bomb. And then you could see with the second one, they were like, okay, let's go way back to what people love about Turtles, the 80s, the characters from the 87 series. So you can see where a lot of that was playing on it, and they were definitely going to do something else in the third one. I could have totally seen them. I mean, obviously, the way they leave off with Krang and Shredder, you know, you could have literally done an ink. Whereas now, it's just like, that's the problem with cinema. I don't think they should get another chance, but I also think like if someone had a decent enough script, it should be at least looked at, whereas I don't even think it would even get the attention today.
It'll just be straight on Netflix and stuff like that on it now these days.
But that's it, you know, if there was the right people behind it, that wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing either. You could look at it as a point of view of saying, right, okay, let's not spend as much money, but let's do streaming, because like I say, that's where the money's being made at the moment. Look at that Chris Hemsworth, you know, Extraction. I mean, if you watch that, that's very much just a very good, up-to-date kind of like action film. It didn't look anything less of what you'd see in the cinema. Yet, like I say, the save on budget and then go straight to streaming, and a hit.
Well, a lot of films, like I said, So I used to just buy them outright before the cinema just so I can stream it, like the Mowgli, the Jungle
Content,
Book one.
yeah. People just go, right, I'll wait for it on Netflix, and if it's not on Netflix, it doesn't fucking exist to them unless like it's trailer to fuck. Now, just going back to the Turtles there though, he's Raphael, find himself outnumbered, and you know what I mean.
Chinned.
Again, it's just the same as the first one.
Yeah, the first one landed so much better. I mean, in this, he's like, he didn't seem to put up much of a fight, even though there is twice as many foot soldiers. But it almost feels like he didn't have enough like grit in him in this one, whereas the other one, I mean, he took a good hiding long before the turtles turned up.
Mm-hmm.
But it'd be great if you were just like someone walking by, wouldn't it? And then you just have to relate to it and watching a film going, hold on a minute, that's who that bloke was who ran past us. Mm-mm.
I mean, then you could get away with it because you didn't have internet and stuff like that. Now, going back to like, we'll just quickly talk about, I think Turtles would have been a bit different if Michael Bay directed it. Obviously, wrapped up Transformers without making an utter and muttery of fucking Transformers and make a unicorn the fucking Earth. I mean, leave that fucking bumblebee fucked. Oh, it's fucking stupid.
The first Transformers I really enjoyed.
The first one's mint.
Rubbish apart from the last one.
But it was just going back there. I was just going to say there, like, you're on about, like, who's that guy running past? Look at the fiasco what happened when they filmed 2 scenes of in Newcastle, and fucking it was just viral, and they were fucking swamped. But that's why they have to film in so many cities, or they film the new Transformers in concert. Like, fucking hell, everyone would be here the next day it's in Stanley, and like, it's viral, but then they could get away with it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, you got like people like Sluggy sitting outside their hotels, hours on end, waiting for his favourite celebrity.
Tell you what, I mean, I love that kid to bits. He makes me laugh, like, but like, some of the stories I was like, do you realise that's borderline stalkism?
Oh, I think he's definitely on that level.
Is stalkism a real word?
Stalkism.
Aye. Well, I've said it.
Now.
There you go, Paul. You can have that one.
Thanks, I might use it one day.
See, does this not feel too much like a set to you? This scene. I mean, the wall of tyres, the cleaning out a wall of tyres, it just feels like it feels like a set.
And the net from Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
I think the turtles look better in the night time than they do during the day.
There's definitely either going for the more cartoony, let's just expose them look, rather than...
Oh my god, look those sharp.
the most blunt fork in the world.
I was going to say, yeah, the fork looks blunt as anything. That's the most wonkiest Paul ever, also. That Raphael's one.
I guess if you tried a little bit harder, you could probably tip over like...
Yeah.
Wait for it. A little closer. I mean, since they changed the actor, they should have just got the voice from the cartoon to do it. Oh, Robin Hood's here.
James Everett.
Oh dear.
Well, shot splinter.
Well, shot Splinter. That you guys are fucking well behind us again. Raphael just had his tape ripped off his mouth.
I'm up to a bit Splinter, just shot the arrow.
Nah, Raphael's just been gagged back up.
No, he's still got the
right.
Shredder's just standing there. I bet that's a stand-in. That'll not be the actor. Like, fuck that, I'm not standing here all this day. See, this is a bit where he crawls out of the pylon. I mean, are they that stupid they're just punching the ground? Oop, see, even the punch to the head, it sounds like a pan.
Well, the thing is, though, like, even the fighting in this, I mean, Leonardo's fight there, it just felt like it was, like, timed. Like, it was almost like waiting for the person to say, right, you punch now. like our kick, and it just felt a little bit slow. I feel like a lot more natural on the first one. Like,
Well, Toka and Razor have made their debut.
You were definitely ahead, lad.
oh, you're way ahead.
I haven't done
We're not way
anything.
ahead. Toka and Razor have just come on screen now. The door just falls over.
There you go.
Raphael's just fell to the ground.
No, you need to pause.
Right, I'll pause, right?
Pause for like 10 seconds.
Donatello is just queuing up his stick. Like, the thing is, you know, anyone who listens to this is trying to sync it up with us. They're going to have to fucking pause.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone's seen it from 1,000 times.
And I was going to say, it's not like we're miles off each other, but like Donatello's
something like on.
just whacked Razor now. Toka, sorry.
What do you mean? I said with the queue. Right, hang on. He's ran up. And he's aiming up. And whack. He's just hit him in the... a man now behind you.
Yeah, he's just being tossed through the roof now. Like, literally just a second.
We'll pause it because he's still talking to him. And up through the sky, and he's just gone through the roof. Landed.
Right, well, I paused it a couple of seconds after that, so I've got Harry on the screen. And I'm going to play it now. So I should be pretty much in sync now.
So he's just taken the duct tape off the scientist's mouth.
Yep, yes. Yep, bang on. Right, let's keep a tab on that. Right, who falls behind.
The fine things on Netflix to watch, right? So it's KB.
Oh.
I mean, they're just turning into a cannonball. I mean, did they not? I mean, they learnt that from Hook.
Yeah. Don't you better reference that.
This is before. Oh no.
That's when they make the escape. No?
Yeah.
Yeah, do they?
I love it how they go through the car to get into it.
Yeah. Is he in the third one as well?
No.
Did he not? I think I remember a white professor person.
I tell you who the baddie in the third one is in Hot Fuzz. He's not.
Rick Meal.
He looks a bit like Rick Meal, but it's a guy from Hot Fuzz. Got the goatee. Again, they've ripped the car to bits rather than just climb over it.
Yeah. Yep, he's not going to fit.
And just the feet coming down from the roof. No, but I think they'll be great. I hope they're a double pack. I wouldn't be impressed if it's going to be pricey.
Nah, it's got to be a double pack.
It is K you're talking about, Jack.
Huh?
What's that?
It is NEC you're talking about, yeah. Double packs of figures. They'd be the most expensive ones.
What you get the scientist with Tokar and I don't know, someone else randomly with Razor.
Yeah.
I mean, in theory though, he should have been Baxter.
I could feel he could have been a Baxter character quite easily. And his whole character, other than name, would have worked exactly the same. He wouldn't have had to have been, mutated into a fly or anything like that. It would have just been a nice little nod to say that this is the guy from the series.
Speaking of...
I mean, between the creators and the filmmakers, all of every single one of the turtle film, there was never a clean, do what you want sort of attitude.
I mean, if you're talking about like miscasting, just look at Street Fighter.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Oh my
God!
That was about the actors. That
Nick has made it Ultimate Krang, also based on a cartoon.
Oh yeah, it's part of that other series where there was like, I think there was 2 turtles each, and they were like 60 quid a pop.
Yeah, the cartoon-inspired ones.
Yeah.
I could just go on and on and on.
Well, if they've re-released them though, because if you look on eBay, you can get them where there's 2 turtles in each pack, so you get like a 2-pack. But then they've also released them individually as well. So I don't know if it's all. I think it's a lot to do with like San Diego Comic Con and stuff like that. I think you get a lot of exclusives. Well, all the same thing, and it just get repackaged.
If you look at the range I've got, which it's not NECA. I'm trying to look at who made them because I've still got all of them sealed. They hang from the ceiling.
The classic collection ones that were B&M and stuff like that.
Aye, so like, and obviously Bebop and Rocksteady are rare as fuck because like they sort of made them, but they haven't made a Splinter, a Shredder, and April O'Neil. They just stopped.
Yeah.
And then it did two of them. He's one.
I'm going to quickly go to the toilet.
Yeah, I think so.
You two talk nicely.
Talk nice, Mr. Paul.
Hiya.
Mind you, funny enough, talking about that, we're gonna like, I don't know if you're interested, if you could, in fact, afford it, but if I do want to do cartoon figures, I'm really gonna have to be shit hot on the Rocksteady and Bebop because I've been looking online now, and you just can't get them anywhere. You can get the odd one on eBay for like triple the price, but I think if hopefully, because they haven't really been released in the UK yet, we'll get like a fresh wave. But if you look online now, because I was looking at it, because I thought now that my money's alright, I thought, well, it's my birthday next week, so I thought, I might do like a bit of a splurge, just one little thing. And I thought, if I get the ones that are like the hard to get ones, I'll get them ones. And like I said, I just can't justify. I think like one of them was like 90 quid. It's a 2-pack. We've got Rocksteady, but it's just like when you think of retail price, like 60 quid. I think I'm not paying an extra 40 quid just to. An extra 30 quid, sorry, just because someone wants to be a dick.
Yeah, like the Zavi's normally alright with them, and then they disappear. Like kind of yeah, you can't get that now. Like,
well, this is it, but also you can't get all of them as well. It's strange how like it's not even like they're sold out, but like they've only got like certain ones on the website. And it's just like that's strange that you think if you're going to sign up to do one, you'd like do the whole range.
Hello, Johnny. I heard you talking about Zavi. I just remember I got a gift card and they were like, "Oh, do you want to like?" Brittany was just like, "Oh, what do you want?" And I was like, "You know what? If I had to buy some off Zavi," and I contemplated it for a while before I told them to go fuck themselves, was the Matrix soundtrack because I quite liked the score to the soundtrack.
Yeah.
And when you go on soundtracks, Matrix was on top, and there was like Matrix and a few others, and you scroll down all the pages and like fucking soundtracks for fucking Matrix nowhere to be seen. Paul, is that the cook from Gremlins 2? It looks like that. Hello? Oh, Paul's reconnecting. You still there, Carl? Hello? Call's ended again. It's timed out. Apologies for that. I only went to the toilet 5 minutes. Fucking, I've got fucking loads of voice messages coming through. Hiya, matey. It's almost dropped out at the same time, hasn't it?
It's weird, man. It's just, I think just everyone's using the internet, mate.
Aye. So the police chief's back. Hello.
The probably I guess for a while until everyone gets back to work, then it should settle down a little bit.
Sorry, what were we talking about?
Well, just internet. Or what we should do is find like maybe like a video conference call one or something.
Oh, we tried that for the Better than FA one. We tried the podcast last Saturday. We tried Zoom, we tried Google Meets, and like one of the problems when we were trying to record it is the first night we were trying to work it out, and I said from the start, look, it's a podcast. I'll rather do it over WhatsApp with the Rogue mics and get it best we can be recorded in the situation we are. Do you know what I mean? If anyone wants to criticise the audio, well, it's in lockdown. What do you expect? You know, fucking miracles. But like when we're on Google Meets and stuff, and you've got like 4 people talking at once, when someone would talk, it would sort of, it didn't know, it was too busy trying to cut to the picture and drop an audio out. So like when you've got a group conversation going, you want to be feeling in the room, not like, you know what I mean? Because if it's getting recorded, it's not creating all the audio, if you know what I mean.
But this is not that bad. I mean, like I say, I'm for one, you know, I've got a hearing issue. And when you first mentioned it, I thought, I don't know if I'm going to be able to listen to it, because if it's poor quality, I'm not going to be able to keep up with the conversation. And then I watched you and Paul Ray's Ghostbuster one, and to be honest with you, I find it's fine. It probably could be better if you had, like, if we were all in the same room. But for what it is, I think it works perfectly fine. Like. Unless
you want to just like, oh, it's just a picture, and I have to translate and go along the videos. I hate you. I hate you. Oh, let's be friends. So what Stallone film we're doing next? Are we definitely? Are we doing Marked for Death, Carl? Are we?
I can do. I mean, I'll have to have a dig, but I'll be able to get a hold of it. But I am up for Marked for Death, right? Is that Seagal still on?
Seagal.
Right? We said Stallone.
Well, we've done a few Stallones. We did Demolition Man and Tango and Cash. I've re-listened to the Demolition Man. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, because we've done 2 and 2, haven't we? We did Demolition Man and Tango and Cash for Stallone, and then we've done Under Siege 1 and 2 for
Seagal.
So, like I say, I'm happy to stay with that, or if you want to look at somebody else, I mean, you're not going to be wanting to do any Van Damme ones, are you?
Well, I was wanting to do Time Cop, but you don't fucking have it.
I know, I'm trying to get a hold of it, but like I say, it's not one left in my collection. I'll be honest with you, I think I might have only watched it once. I'm up for Time Cop. We'll do 3 of us do Time Cop if I can get a hold of you. You got it, like, Corey? I can't.
Fuck me.
You can find it somehow.
When you find it, send us a link. Alright, sorted. Fuck yes.
On to the thing, yeah. So it's like that medicine that you have in your stomach, you know, when you've got a bad stomach.
What, Alka-Seltzer?
Thing you want is just poured in the... cigarette, just poured in a thing. And he's busy stirring of that stirry thing.
Whisk.
But, yeah.
He's just chopped his pizza in now.
No. What are you talking about? His pizza. He's pouring in a little pan. And they've got a Bart Simpson glass.
He's sprinkling in the pan now, so you're like a frame ahead of us.
So Bart Simpson's
Must
just
be your system.
What, Blu-ray and high definition? Aye, to piracy, whatever. What, you got anything come back to that?
I think Carl's got the Laserdisc version, I've got the Betamax version.
Well, actually, to be honest with you, Mason, I was referring to the fact that you were watching it on Blu-ray and you had a better system, which is why your frame rate better. So I'm watching DVD here.
Well, the construction yard is coming.
Well, the Bart Simpson glass is on my screen now.
Yeah, Bart Simpson's just gone, yeah.
No, I'm ahead of yous now. And I stopped for yous.
Yeah,
well, clearly it's going to be impossible to keep in sync with each other.
Right, I've paused it for 2 seconds. Let us know when Michelangelo is talking to Donatello or Raphael in the background.
On, yeah. Yeah, construction site. Yeah, I think we'll have to try and do something about that.
I mean, this is the first time it's happened. We didn't have one problem with Tango and Cash.
Yeah, that's exactly.
If you think about how many times has this been released and taken over, I mean,
well, that's what it is. I love that you're going to get the donuts with the Toka and Radar figures.
Yeah, I just spotted that before.
Oh, I actually haven't even seen any images of them yet.
Have you not? They look pretty good. Oh, they're pretty awesome, like. Again, I'm glad they've gone with the more plastic fur for Togar, because like I say, the to go like real fur, it would have been would have worked for me. Like,
I'm looking forward to the Vanilla Ice one that comes out.
I mean, if they don't do a Vanilla Ice, I don't know what they're doing. That should be it. It should be David Warner and Vanilla Ice. Because apparently he's a massive Vanilla Ice fan. Apparently he was proper nerding out on set when he was dancing.
It's midnight.
Is this before Ice Baby? What was it? Cool as Ice he was in the film.
It's Cool as Ice, yeah.
Cool as Ice, aye.
That's My Boy, isn't it? When him and Adam Sandler run down the beach where they've got one earphone each.
Oh god, that's a terrible film.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Have you heard the metal version he did for Ice Ice Baby?
Nah.
I'm not Jedward did the version.
Yeah, that's just noise.
Gonna eat the donuts.
Oh, I'm not quite there yet.
No, I'm offering them donuts. Oh,
Michelangelo's game, yeah. Michelangelo's got donuts.
And he's bit into the donuts. It's again though, like that jawline doesn't work.
Well, this is it. I mean, like I say, it's quite conflicting because obviously the creators said they didn't want this to be they didn't want this related to the cartoon. Yet to me, couldn't be any more related to the cartoon, in my opinion. I could see this basically being an episode.
I think because we went from the first one to the second one straight away, and there is a big, massive difference. It's like watching the kids. It's like watching the kids for them now.
Absolutely.
I mean, they knew they were going to make the money no matter what they did after the first one. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's it, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, again, it's make it as quick as possible. So, for example, likeness rights might be a thing. Like, Bebop and Rocksteady might not have been part of the package. I know that's what happened with the new franchise of Godzilla, where they went, right, you can have Godzilla, but we're not trusting you with any of the extra, like the other classic Toho characters until like the success of Godzilla and obviously King Kong and just getting them all underneath. So that's why we got a fucking avalanche of monsters in the new one. And here we go. Vanilla Ice is about to make his appearance.
Almost.
It's Ghostbusters 2 all over again.
Anybody who saw this as a kid can't deny the fact that they were singing Go Ninja Go for like
Fucking
so
right.
long.
I'm going to be listening to it later on.
Absolutely. Was there a music video for it?
Yeah.
I feel like there was.
Because I'm a big fan of Until's asked me to do a song. I came and we did a song together. But he's proper like serious at the start.
Really?
It's on YouTube. Obs.
Yeah. Obs.
Go Ninja. I mean, again, in like, oh yeah, we'll put you in the movie and you're just going to come up with Go Ninja on the fly and that. And it's like, what?
Look at the hairstyles, man. Fantastic.
Like I said, Mason, like before, everyone will have the phones out taking pictures now, wouldn't they? Or running down the
Well,
building.
everyone like now, they wouldn't be there because I can't go to a fucking nightclub.
Oh, yeah.
And the music kicks in.
That's what I love about it, you know, like, it's proper, like, panic moment, and everyone's, like, proper panicking in the end. He's sitting there going, hold on, guys, I think I've got a song here.
Well, Ghostbusters Answer the Call is borrowed from this when Ozzy Osbourne Fest is happening, so...
Yeah.
Yo, man.
Tell you what, right, that would have been a long day of filming, considering you've got them up on the stage, background not even out of focus. I mean, how many times is Vanilla Ice, especially at this era, when he would probably tell you, fuck you, I'm not doing that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to have the animatronics and stuff and that in the foreground, like, that ain't happening long.
Well, yeah, it's like Willow. There's a deleted scene, isn't there, where he's going to go over the river to get the sorcerer wifey. But they filmed it for 2 weeks. They used like a fake, like a ginormous fish for 2 weeks, and they didn't end up using it in the film.
Mental.
2 weeks on that, filming that.
Well, the octopus and the Goonies?
Yeah,
Another one, aye.
but it's still in the film, isn't it?
Aye, there was a massive octopus. Aye, but like when you hear that, you like, especially because of like when he spills his beans to the Fratellis and all that, and then there's even the Gremlins reference. As a kid, you just don't even question the octopus reference.
Yeah. Well, it's like the 1985 Joe Dante film, Explorers. Love that film so much. When I think Wolfgang's reading newspapers, Dad, and it says Kingston Falls has the worst night ever. And obviously that's based on the Gremlins, so it's the same universe. I love when they do stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a proper golden era, that, you know. It's like when I was listening to the commentary for Neverending Story, and like Wolfgang Peterson, who's obviously did Das Boot and all that, and like his next film is Neverending Story, and he didn't want to do anything dramatic, and he wanted to make something for kids. And when you listen to his commentaries, you go, oh yeah, Steven Spielberg told me to cut it here and cut it there, and like, fucking Spielberg had his fingers in every pie in the 80s, man. From Joe Dante to George Lucas to Wolfgang Peterson. I mean, Neverending Story is a German movie, like. I mean, just Spielberg was just in anything. Toby Hooper with Poltergeist and that.
Poltergeist? That's a thing, isn't it? Like, especially Poltergeist, because they're filming E.T. down the road, but then he's going up and down the street all the time. That's how well he's doing, you know what I mean? So, Poltergeist to me is more of a Spielberg. It's a family kind of thing. But then Toby Hooper, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, he's right there. See, Invaders from Mars, and is it Life Force that he did also?
Life Force is one of the nicest Blu-rays Arrow have released. It looks amazing. And it's a British movie, Life Force.
Yeah. Mind you, the irony of the Spielberg daughter's got a fingers in every pie now these days, apparently.
I mean, whoever's looking after the door.
Does this film feel longer than the first film? Or is it just me?
I don't know, but like Toke and Razor are gone already.
Sure. The being choked on longer. I feel like it's shorter. I feel like we're pretty much at the end already.
Yeah.
First one felt a lot more in depth. You know this scene though, when the agents are talking behind us stage, just reminds me of Back to the Future.
Oh, he's about to get forward squished.
Damn.
You can see some of them extras in the background just fucking bored.
I was going to say, like you said before, it's probably take 200 now at this point.
And obviously the music wouldn't be really playing in the background, would it? They're probably overdone it.
Or pretending to dance and pretend to listen.
Pretend to sing and, yeah. They're waiting in the background going, yeah, 50 times. Yeah, turtles. Yeah, 6 for Thai turtles running around.
I mean, Vanilla Ice has been singing Ninja Rap for about 10 minutes now.
Been on a while, haven't he?
If I went to see him, I would say, do Ninja Rap. There we go. Oh,
yeah,
God.
that's what you want. Oh, Jesus. When the professor started dancing, it's just like, what?
It's like me dancing.
Shredder's here. On the stage. I mean, remember when Shredder walked in and it's dun-dun-dun, and you're giving that, now he's just on the stage in a nicely purple suit, like I'm not hiding anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, if you went to that gig to see Vanilla Ice, you would think that was the best gig you ever fucking seen, stage-wise.
Yeah, it would be for me.
Well, it was a year ago yesterday that I saw, 2 years ago yesterday I saw Iron Maiden, so.
Any Vanilla Ice loads of?
Nah. Although I like the fact that you got all these extras now, and I'm just curious, I wonder how many of them knew who they were actually, like, what film they were being extras for, because they don't often get told that much information, do they?
No, it's normally you sign up for an agency and they're like, right, we need, you normally get a subscription and go, right, I need people to look like this, and you'll turn up and then normally you get told what to wear if you can bring it, and then that's it, you get your place and you stand there all day.
You're
Do you know what this
hilarious
picture?
to me then.
This picture on the stage reminds me of Bill and Ted.
Aye.
Yeah,
Yeah.
aye.
mean, how far does he fly over that amp? I mean, would everyone else not be fucking deaf in that venue? And Togon Razor turned into a snapping turtle and a wolf.
You definitely hit again.
Yeah, because we've still got Shredder and the hostage now.
Oh no, wait, hang on, I'll pause it. They've just went outside of the pier. Disaster.
It's a frame rate, man. It's nothing you can do about it, mate.
I would, in the story though, I mean, I would have told Kino to like take their Togon Razor back to the lair, and that would have been a great addition in the third one. To have a snapping turtle and just a dog running around would have been great.
Yeah, have them still involved.
Get a haircut. The mother.
Have you guys got outside yet to the pier?
No, not yet.
Just turned into.
We're just looking at Tokan Razor's babies again.
God, there's some acting, isn't it?
No,
For being the same bit now. That is a lot of frame rate.
we're all outside on the pier now. Yes.
Right, aye. Just cutting close to them, looking back.
Aye.
I mean, again, it's quite short. I mean, we'll get Kevin Nash in a second, and then... I mean, that mutate... The thing is, it's not just mutified him how big he is. His suit's been pimped.
Well, listen, I had a big discussion about that, like saying, well, hold on, even if he was mutated, his suit wouldn't mutate, would it?
No.
If anything, it'd be more hulked out.
Yeah?
I mean, look at
So
this.
bad.
I mean, this should have been like an awesome fighting scene, you know, just to kind of justify having Super Shredder.
I mean, it looks amazing.
For the time, absolutely.
I mean, he's even got
yeah.
fucking... His fucking body mass painted onto his fucking suit, man.
Yeah. Got the abs painted on.
But this is before... Was this before Kevin Nash really broke into WWE, though?
Aye, it would have been, aye.
This would have been Days of Oz.
Aye. So is this just essentially a roid rage? Because it makes no sense for him. He's clearly seeing what he's doing. You can't possibly be thinking that this is a good plan.
Well, aye, it's like, right. But again, he doesn't really die in a way, though. I mean, he gets crushed in a dumpster in the first one. You think that's a bit more pendant death to what's just happened on there.
Yeah.
So basically, body just lies there.
But that's it. Because in my head, I thought he went in the water, but clearly not.
I mean...
This bit here where turtles pop up, wasn't that like a deleted scene in the first film?
But why are they popping up like that, though? And why are they going dry?
I'm sure I've seen a trailer. They said it pop up like deleted scene or something like that. I'm sure it was.
Right. Clearly those suits are waterproof, like.
They just use the same skyline they did on top of the roof.
The same painting, yeah.
It is, yeah. They've got a 2000 background. It looks exactly the same.
I mean, the hand comes back up there and then it just falls down, but then it's like...
Guess everything's alright now.
She's not Channel 6 news anyway. I mean, she did get fired in the first one, but it's Channel 3 news.
Oh, yeah. Channel 3.
It's not Sky News.
Splinter's definitely using like shampoo since the first one, hasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he looks a lot better. Well, it looks a lot cleaner, I should say, in this.
Yeah.
Not better, it looks a lot cleaner. So it goes from really dark to really light, jokey to absolutely ridiculous in the third one.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, the third one, Christ. I mean, I literally think I've only seen it twice.
I think I've seen it 3 times in my life. It's one even when they reissued the DVDs a few years ago with really bad CGI in the front of it. It was only the first 2 films.
Yeah.
Well, the obviously on the Blu-ray, it's actually been renamed to Turtles in Time as well.
Yeah, it's a big thing, isn't it? Because it's just a game. So now everyone knows it's Ninja Turtles now.
Ninja Rap Spawn.
Freeze framing on a fucking 4-way backflip. I mean, they mustn't have landed it. Do you know what I mean?
Nah, yeah, they didn't land that. Well, not the two on Donatello and Michelangelo didn't land, I don't think.
They're definitely out of shadows now. I had to get them there.
So that's Fade to Black. No hidden screens, no hidden bits, no like, Shredder at the end, you know what I mean? Build me a body.
He-Man?
No.
Beastman?
Fucking Beastman and He-Man turn up.
So let's just say that number 3 didn't get released. What's the next step now? See, to be honest with you, I think you'd have to somehow work with Shredder. Because like I say, there's no way you could leave it there and then just not assume that he survived or did something. You know, obviously there's still so many characters, but it's reached that cartoony level that I feel like you probably could throw in some different camp characters now.
Well, now everyone knows who they are. They can walk around the town now.
Well, that's
it, isn't it? Because I suppose it is. It's like they know they exist.
Because obviously that's what Out of Shadows was about, wasn't it?
Yeah.
well, again though, the secrecy and all the superhero, it's kind of like the thing that needs to be done. It's like, oh, secret identity, you can't get around. And I think that's what Iron Man was like. Yeah, I'm Iron Man at the end of it. Do you know what I mean? And that's sort of, to me, with Iron Man, with that being the first one for Marvel, it wasn't in the shadow kind of thing. And like, again, it's just like, oh, it's meant to be secret. And with the Turtles, like, right, they're out, like, everyone knows who they are at the end of this. And now it's like, right, and then, right, the third one comes along, and guess what? They're in fucking ancient Japan.
Did you see that Frank Welker did a voice-up talk?
He did both of them? I didn't think he did both of them.
Yeah, just did both of them, yeah. I know there's all the voices for like Ray from Ghostbusters and freaking everything, doesn't he? He does everyone's voices, doesn't he?
So this.
Thousands of voices, like.
So again, if it was going to go for a third one after this, probably Shredder would probably return once more. They could have hinted if they knew what they were going to do for the third one, they could have used Baxter. They could have set Baxter Stockman up. They could have hinted at another dimension, maybe somehow. But again, a lot of the characters from the comics, I mean, thinking off the top of my head, I mean, who do you guys remember? I remember Baxter. I remember that. Well, obviously the killer turtle pizzas. That's not really a countable thing. There was a robot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the Nectar toys coming out, but that's part of that other series. We're talking about limited edition, like the robot turtles and.
What do you call the rabbit? You sorry? No.
Tuck your hair.
Well, there's only one rabbit in this book your hair, but no, can you remember the one that it was in like a Japanese gown? It was basically a samurai.
Yeah, there was a rabbit. There was also what was it? There's also the frogs from another dimension.
Yeah. Was this 1990?
No, the first one was 1990.
Yeah.
No, the first one was at 89, came out in the 90s, but this was made straight away, yeah.
So this is from 1990 then?
Well, it would have been 1991, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right, in that year you had Goodfellas, Home Alone, Edward Scissorhands, Pretty Woman, Stephen Kingsley. No, this has to be wrong. Tremors out in 1990.
Well, that's Tremors is an 89 film, but like it was released in the 90s. Again, it was made in 89.
Yeah, confused, so. I'll just see what films came out in 1990, just so you know, like Misery. There's The Witches was 1990. Wait. Yeah, 1990, The Witches. Misery, Tom Lawn, Total Recall, Who's Talking To, Dick Tracy, Kindergarten Cop,
Dance with Wolves.
Have
you seen that?
One's that Dance with
Have you seen Dance with Wolves?
Yeah,
the long arse one.
I reckon before. So 1990, Bird on a Wire, Darkman, Memphis Belle, Die Hard 2, 48 Hours, Hunt for Red October, Predator 2. Honestly, in 1990, dozens of films. Gremlins, Battlefield 3. That is just a list of what films came out.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's it, though. By 89, like VHS and all that, Laserdisc home entertainment was a big fucking thing, man.
I remember in Newcastle HB, you went up the escalator, and there was nothing but Laserdiscs on top of the in the aisles. They were absolutely gorgeous. And you talking about £14 for a film? Laserdisc, like.
And that was a canny bit, really, when you think about it. But,
I can't pay about paying £5.99 these days.
Paul, you complain about paying for a fucking film.
I can't pay about buying for 50 pence in CX. I'd put it on this. This isn't a direct cut hours after, actually. It's actually 2 minutes longer.
I'm not gonna lie, like, I did look on Amazon for Turtles 3, and I was like, I just cannot part with £2.98 for that film.
There's got those like white covers, like when all jumping up in the air or something like that. Like one of those Fox family ones. If I remember this.
Funny enough, it's one of the new ones, you know, where the faces that start.
Oh, the American one.
Aye, it was one of them ones. It's like
the big face ones.
Mental.
Because Warner Brothers started releasing them earlier this year. Like the Goonies now for big, massive, big faces. The big face one. No, Ninja was 1981, so this must be 1981. Oh, I freaking can't tip it now. I can't tip it now.
So they're rebooting it again, apparently. So what do you reckon? Are we going to go straight for Dimension X? Are they going to be just proper space sci-fi? Or do you think they should do what they've done in the past, but just kind of tweak it?
I mean,
don't need an origin story.
We're going to get an origin story in Shredder. I mean, if anything, what they should do what they did with Batman and like bring it back, give it I don't know if they want to try and ground it for a more mature audience or they want to try and reboot it for kids again, but maybe he's rebooted in a way where like Shredder's in the sequel, or Shredder's like the you know what I mean, Shredder's not the first victim of the Turtles, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because obviously Batman Begins was a Scarecrow, wasn't it? And then the Joker was in the second one, so I think what they need to do is just go back to basics, but like, you don't need an origin story. You do not need another origin story. Just get straight to the. I mean,
if you look at it as a trilogy, and then sprinkle it a little bit like MCU, what they should do, in my opinion, is have Krang be the Thanos of this, like, kind of make it a trilogy. So the first one, they're just fighting street crime. It's going to be like, there'll be like tattoos and stuff like that around, but it'll just be that. I think the end of there should be the big reveal that the mastermind behind it all is a guy, let's go by his actual name rather than Shredder.
Arukusaki.
Arukusaki. And then have the second one basically be them taking on Shredder. But then, obviously, who's funding Shredder? How's he getting all this stuff? Well, of course, the third one, it'll be the big finale, and it'll be proper, you know, like kind of Avengers Endgame, you know, like, go as far as saying, like, you've got portals coming in, and then, I mean, you can even have rock guys come in, you know what I mean? Just have Krang come down with his army. You just got to go, like, really, like, not silly with it, but just, like, take it as far as it can go. Because I feel like you can't do, like, nitty gritty anymore, because at the end of the day it worked in the 90s and it worked. I mean, the first one worked tremendously well. I mean, I like the second one, but you can't deny that second one is so lackluster compared to the first one. And then obviously we've already voiced our opinions on the third one being as bad as it is. So I feel like you can't really go like natural and realistic. So I feel like it has to be something along the lines of a little bit more far-fetched, but like kind of try and keep it grounded, because you still want to be like to be like human related, but at the same time you have to remember that they are mutated turtles and so naturally.
What about, so if you're going on this trilogy there, the first one should be Baxter Stockman and the Rat King, because then you could have the idea of the rats, you could have the Rat King take the fall, you could obviously make Baxter Stockman into somebody who's in the second one could be turned into a fly. That could be a sub story, but then by the third one he comes back as kind of maybe he's an ally. because you need people like Casey Jones introducing, but you need them to have some allies as well to pay off that big like comeback thing. But again, like I would say that would be a good way to do it, because you could make it quite dark, especially with like the Rat King coming after Splinter, but obviously Baxter creating the mouse trappers and all that kinds of stuff. But the Foot also being like a bit of a problem.
Yeah, definitely.
Because obviously the tagline could be.
The fact that,
What's that? Yeah.
No, I'm just thinking, like, even if you go as far as I know he kind of peppered into this one, but like, let's really like take advantage of the fact that Donatello is like a proper tech nut, and like kind of get the balance right, because in this one he kind of feels like he just like sort of slightly peppers in. But then what really annoyed us about the Outer Shadows or whatever it was called is that they literally made him more of a tech nerd by simply putting glasses on him, which I think is ridiculous. I think there should be sort of like, you know, let's bring in some like technology that like Donatello has developed. You know, let's kind of signature what they're known for and what they're good at, rather than cause like I say, I feel like they're all individual characters. First one did okay, but even then, that didn't really like kind of utilize what the strengths are and what makes them good at a team, rather than just being like four random turtles fighting random for children.
Well, so we're going to come back. We're not doing the third one tonight, are we?
No.
So we will be back for Turtles 3. And obviously I think that might be a bit draining just to do the 3, but we've done 2 back-to-back tonight. So we've had Paul Ray, the movie pop guy. We've had Carl. We've done a double podcast on this one camera. Great. I can't wait for the new one. Obviously, Paul Ray and Carl's going to go and have to fucking get it from a cargo ship somewhere in the North Sea and come back from the pirate trips. But yeah, for now, I've been Stephen Monkey Mason. Thanks for listening. Paul's about to absolutely kick my ass off camera. Goodbye for now.